Hi guys, Angie Bell with My Fairy Treasures. Okay, I'm back. It's been a couple of days, but I think it's just been a day. So anyway, you get back to things when you can get back to things. It's the way it is. Anyway, this is okay. So where we left off is we had done all the collage background work, right? And I finished up the page so you guys know what we're going for this side. So I went ahead and I did the rest of the mixed media little techniques on this background, and then I put these focal points in, and I think this turned out fabulous. So this is a little elf that I cut out of Where Women Create magazine, and then there was this quote, and I put this quote here. And then these butterflies are the Dollar Tree butterflies. They're the wall decals from Dollar Tree. Remember I said I was going to add some things in from Dollar Tree. So these butterflies are a mixture of these two. These are wall decals that I got at Dollar Tree. Are these fabulous, you guys? These are good if you do art journaling, junk journaling, cards, obviously for your mixed media. You can use these for everything. So whenever you see these type of things and you like them, even if you don't know what you're going to use them, I would pick them up. Also, I used a butterfly from, here it is, it's a yellow one. I used that yellow butterfly there, but this is some more wall decals. You guys have all seen these before. I don't show this one very often, so I don't know if I've ever shown this. You've seen this for sure in my haul videos. And then I used a couple of, see the little stars right here? That was on this one that had like a cowboy hat and stars and just all this cool stuff. Okay. So we're going to use a mixture of these three wall decals also. So just to show you that. And then the focal point and the quote we're going to use over here is going to be like this. After we finish up the background, it's going to be something like this. Isn't it fun just to play with stuff like this? And these are all cut out from that magazine Where Women Create. You get that magazine, it's expensive, it's like $14, you get it at Joann's. But pay attention and go sign up for, not for the magazine, but just join their email list. And they'll let you know when they're clearancing out like old Where Women Create magazines. And I got a big stack because they all were like $1 or $2. So I bought like 10 or 12 magazines. So I have just like I needed more magazines, but the magazines have stuff like this. Okay, beautiful images and beautiful quotes, and yeah. All right, you guys got it. All right, so let's go for this page now. And there's some things in here I still need to finish up. Let me just make sure you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. See this right here? This was some doodling I did, some little checkered doodling and some checkered doodling here. So I need to finish doing the checkered doodling around with my black pen. I haven't stabiloed or shaded all the edges yet. I did do a little bit of the shading right here. I did a little bit of my shading or my stabiloing right here. So I got to finish up little bits like that. So, okay, so let's go ahead and go on to this page here. Oh my gosh, let me get some tea in me. Okay. Put those over here. All right. So we need to get out some, let me put these over here, some gesso. And I don't use gesso. You can use gesso if you want. I use a product called Kilz, K-I-L-T-Z. I've said it a lot of times, but a lot of people ask me questions, so I'll always repeat myself so that, you know, anybody new knows what I'm doing. I get Kilz. It's a wall primer. You get it at Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart. It comes in gallons. So I only have to buy this maybe every 2 or 3 years. Kilz is a wall primer. It acts just like gesso, okay? But you're buying it for like $15. It'll last you like 2 or 3 years. So that's what I use. Okay. K-I-L-T-Z. All right. So what I like to do is I like to take a big paintbrush like this and dip it in water and then dip it into the gesso. And what that does is it makes it so that the gesso, it thins the gesso out enough that you can still see through the gesso. We just want to knock this back a little bit, but we don't want to knock it back completely, right? so that you barely see through it. You still want to see through the layers. If you feel like you still put too much gesso on there, just dip your brush just in water and go right back over the gesso. So lightly doing this, it knocks back the background. Also, it gives us a surface now that we can add more stuff onto, right? It gives the surface some tooth. But it also does something important. It knocks all this into the background. Because this is the background, right? It's not the focal point, it's the background. But we still want to see the background. Okay, so we've done that. So now I need to dry this. So I'm going to go ahead and pause you guys for a second because nobody really wants to sit here and watch me dry paint. So just let me put this lid back on my gesso just a second. Even though I use a thing called Kills, which is a wall primer, I still call it gesso. Okay. All right, so let me pause you guys really quickly, and then I will be back. Let me go ahead and dry this. Okay, you guys, so now here we are. I put that Kills on, or the gesso, and it has dried, right? All right, let me just make sure we're in really good frame here. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're going to we wanna stain this, is what I'm gonna call it, staining it. We're not going to add a lot, we're not gonna add any acrylic paint. I'm gonna take some ink, some De La Rani ink that you kind of use in calligraphy and stuff like that, or you can use in your ink drawings. Anyway, just some ink. You could also use some dark brown acrylic paint and water that down. But this, I'm going to use this ink. I have tons of it and I need to use it. So I'm going to put a couple of drips of this ink down here. Just a second. Now, let me just pour it out. Hopefully I don't pour too much. I'm getting towards the end of this. I'm so excited. I've actually almost used a whole bottle of ink. Okay, the reason I'm excited is because I'm using my stuff. I have so much crap. I'm so proud when I actually use all of something or get really low. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit of water on here because we don't want to use it full strength because I don't want it that strong. Okay. Then, take one of my paint brushes. Oh, I want to talk about this really quickly. People have been asking me, I'm going to do a whole video on all of my products, all my favorite products that I like to use, and just like the basics of what I think you need for mixed media. See these brushes? Look how beautiful this brush is. Okay, there's this one. Oh, actually, this one is not... Okay, I'll talk about the brushes in a second. Let me just go ahead and stain this. This is actually not the kind of... This is not the brush I wanted to use. This is a... Donna Dewberry brush, which I would prefer not to use with my inks. Okay, sorry. Here's the brush. See how beautiful this brush is? You can get a set of these, like a set of 8 of these, of all various sizes. Like a set of 8 for like $10, a set of 5 for like $4 or $5 at Hobby Lobby. And these are my favorite brushes, and look how beautiful they are. These are like mermaid brushes. These are like, and then you can get these color. These are unicorn brushes. You'll get a set of these. And they come in all different, all different, either come in sets of 5 or 8. Okay, and these are the other ones. So these are the unicorn ones, and I call these the mermaid ones. Aren't they gorgeous? They're either $10 for like 8, 4 or 5 of them for like $5. Use a coupon, okay? And these are my favorite brushes. You get them in the craft section at Hobby Lobby. Not the fine art section, but the craft section. And it's on an end cap is where you find them at. So, okay, let me get on this because I kind of got too much ink on here and I don't want it to be this dark and it's starting to dry. Okay, so I'm using a lot of water because I want to. There we go. I was talking so long that I almost started I got too much ink on here and it started really staining up my thing more than I wanted. Okay, now we're good. So it's just a light staining, so it just ages everything and makes it look a little bit more grungy and more old, which is exactly what we wanted. Grunge and age. You guys know what I like. You guys have noticed I like things very pretty, with a lot of pastel-y, shabby chic-y colors, but it's still very shabby, right? So it's the same thing. I like grunge and I like shabbiness, and sometimes I like it with looking more aged with these type of colors, more rustic colors. Sometimes I like to go with all the pinks and the robin's egg blue, but it's still always rustic. I always have splatters still and torn edges, and so my big thing is I always like it shabby and rustic and looking a little aged. Okay, so we need to dry this. Again, I'm going to pause you guys so you guys don't have to sit here and watch me dry paint. Okay, be right back. Okay, you guys, we're back. All right, so we did a little bit of staining on here with the ink so that we've darkened this page up a little bit more. So we've darkened it up, we've grunged it up. Okay, next, what do we want to do next? Let's do, stamping. Okay, so we're going to do some stamping. I chose some stamps. I'm going to use this cocoa ink pad, and I'm also going to use this sepia ink pad. So it's got two different browns there. I'm going to use this stamp here, which is a calligraphy pen. Isn't this fabulous? Oh, yes, please. This is another little calligraphy. These are Stampin' Up. I think these are all Stampin' Up, and I didn't get them directly from Stampin' Up. I got these from is that Stampin' Up too? I don't think this one's not Stampin' Up, or is it? Yeah, it is. I got all of these from, there was this scrapbook store here in Las Vegas. Here's another one. Aren't these just the coolest? They're just all like script type of stuff. Calligraphy pen and paper. Just love it. Anyway, there was a scrapbook store here in Las Vegas, and they have they actually do like a garage sale, and so everybody who shops at that scrapbook store can sell their stuff. And also the scrapbook store itself was selling like a bunch of their stuff they need to get rid of. So I went to it a couple years ago, and that's where I got these stamps. I believe that store went out of business. So, that stamp store. It wasn't just stamps. They sold. It was a scrapbook store. So they sold everything. Okay, so there we go with that. Let's use this stamp. And we're not looking for perfection. We're just adding to the background, which is why I'm doing it in brown, because I don't want it real obvious. Whatever I want obvious, I'll do it in color or I'll do it in black, but I just want this to be in the background. Let's change colors. So I'm going to go to my other one, which is a sepia color, and we will use this one. I have so many stamps, it's like ridiculous, like everybody. I just have so many stamps. So every time I do a project, I like to try to go through my stamps and take out 5 new stamps that'll go with whatever I'm doing, that'll, go along with what I'm doing, but also that I haven't used in a while, so that I'm always recycling through my stuff. Let's go get a little basket, go through your room and collect some stuff. Go shopping in your room. That's what I say. Okay, I'm going to use this stamp. Don't you love that? And you guys, right now, I have I bought this whole calligraphy system, like the book and calligraphy pens and stuff, from like 2 years ago when Hobby Lobby was clearancing out their calligraphy paper, the calligraphy pens, the all the stuff. And so between the book and also I went on to YouTube a little bit, I'm now learning how to do calligraphy. I'm so excited. So I'll make a video on that, and you guys I'll show you how to change the cartridge in a calligraphy pen. I haven't done the type where I actually take the calligraphy pen and dip into the ink. I haven't done that. I used cartridges. And then I'll show you some of the lessons in the book that I'm learning how to do calligraphy. It's pretty cool. Okay. And I want to do quotes in calligraphy and then on paper, and then add those quotes into my art journaling. So that'll be in the future. I'm still learning the calligraphy. Okay, so we did this with this and this and all these stamps. Let's put this aside. Okay. Oh, there was one other thing I wanted to show you guys. I love this stamp set. I already used enough stamps though. I was going to use the, well, I will use one more. See these stamps here? These were $2.99. I got it for 74 cents they had it this year and last year at Hobby Lobby. But there's this little button right here. It is such a cute stamp, you guys. So I'm going to use that button. This is a thimble. This is a spool of thread. These are scissors. There's so much cute stuff on here. But I really want to use this little, see that right here? It's a little button. Oh my God, it is so cute. It's the cutest stamp ever, and it's so small. Okay, so I'm just going to put this little, you can probably not even see it from there, but it's just so cute to put these little buttons everywhere. This stamp is so small, and it's my new favorite button. It's my new favorite stamp. I wish they had another, like, different, just all buttons with different sizes for stamps. Oh my goodness. What I really would love is to be represented like Tim Holt or somebody, you know, like, so that, or Diane Reevely, and so that I could like have all the things made that I would love to use. Oh my God, I would be in heaven. I would have stamps that are all different sizes of buttons. I can tell you that. I would have like all these butterflies. I'd have pages and pages of butterflies and watch faces and button pages of things, of stickers that you could just take off and use in your artwork like this. Calligraphy pens, and oh my God. They'd be like, we created a monster and we should never have asked you to do this. I would be in heaven. Oh my God, that would be so cool. Okay. Do I want to put that back in here or not? Yeah, we'll put it back in here. It fits back in there. Okay, so we've used all that. Next, we're going to take our black archival pad with, you guys know, the script stamp. I do it on everything. And we're going to go over all this with the script stamp. We're not looking for perfection at all. You want it to be, you want to see script stamp here and there. It does not need to be perfect at all. I think it just really adds the magic when you put the script stamp in there, in my opinion. Okay, let's just finish getting all the ink off of the script stamp. Okay. Now the next thing I want to do is I want to add some ink drips. Oh no, before I add ink drips, let's add, don't do that. Let's add some coffee stains. Like coffee cup stains. And how I like to do that is I like to use, you can either use a paper towel roll, or this one is I think a roll from like wax paper or something. It has a little bit smaller of a opening here, okay? But if you don't have this size, you can use a paper towel holder or a toilet paper roll. All right, so I already have some ink on here. You can use ink, you can use watered down acrylic paint, a dark brown. So I put it on my plate, I add a little bit of water, and then go like this. So I like it to look like you set your coffee cup down, and it left like a little coffee cup, it left a little ring in your coffee cup. I just think it looks cool. Again, more age. Okay. I can tend to go crazy with these rings, so tell me to stop. Okay. Angela, stop. All right, so the next thing I want to do is I want to take some more of the ink. I'm so low on this. I'm going to grab another bottle of another ink I have. I have a Jane Davenport ink. It's called Incredible Ink. I love this stuff. You guys, it smells like root beer. Yes, please. Not root beer. It smells like chocolate. Look how beautiful the bottle is. Oh, obsessed. Okay, so I want to add some ink drips. So I have to lift this up. So if I'm out of frame, I'm sorry, you guys, but I have to lift this up so that this drips down. Okay. And I'll explain what I'm doing here in just a second. Oh my God, you guys, this page smells so good. It smells like chocolate. That's why I love working with her ink. Oh my God, all of her inks. I have a ton of her inks, and most of them have a fragrance to them. A couple of them don't. Okay, so what I did, let me rinse my brush. So what I did is I just took the ink, put it at the top of the page, and then went like this so it dripped, you know, brought the book up so it dripped down. And then, let me clean up my mess here before it gets too messy. And then what I like to do is then add a little bit of water with a brush, add a little bit of water on top of that, and so it really, really just drips down more and thins out the ink a little bit. So we got some ink drips. We have the ink drips, and we have the coffee stains. Love. Can we do any more yumminess? Oh my God. I love it. Okay, so now we need to dry this really good because now we're going to put our focal points on. Did I forget anything? No. Oh, what I did want to say is if you don't have that script stamp, this one right here, get one. I'm just kidding. I mean, I would get one if I was you. They're at Michael's, Joann's, use a coupon. But if you don't have this, to get that look, like that black in the background look, you could just do some black splatters, okay? And you can get that similar look if you don't have a script stamp. But if you've been watching me long enough, you probably wanted a script stamp because I talk about the damn thing and I use it on everything I do. So you probably have one. If not, you probably will get one because you keep hearing me talk about this script stamp. Okay. So let me pause you. I will dry this really good and then we will get to focal points, okay? So I'll be right back. And what time do we have? Okay, we're doing good. All right, so I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, I'm back. Okay, it takes a while. This ink here, this De La Rani ink dries quick, but this Incredible ink, it dries really slow. So anyway, it took me a while to dry that. But to you, it took 1 second. Okay, so here we are. We are now got our background all done. Now we need to get to focal points. Okay. We do a lot of work before we get to focal points, don't we? Okay, so this is the focal point here that I got out of Where Women Create magazine. I should do a video where I just go through some of the Where Women Create magazines. They are fabulous. So I'll do that. We'll do what do you call it? We'll go through the magazine and we'll just rip pages out. So you'll see the page and we'll be ripping. So I'll just be ripping out pages to use as collage material. So there's that. This lady creates these type of dolls. And they're like little fairies. And they're very fragile, she says. She likes to, they're very dainty. Not fragile, dainty. Aren't these cool? Okay, and then this quote. So I wanted to show you up close that. Let me look at the time situation. Okay. So we are getting close to 30 minutes here. And when this goes off, you guys just go to the next part, the next video, and we'll be ending it in that next video. So we're towards the end now. But this video is going to end, so just go to the next one. When I stop talking, don't worry, just get to the next video. Okay, so we're going to put our quote there. So this is how we're going to kind of set this up. I just found this hummingbird. And you guys know I love hummingbirds. If you've been with me for any amount of time. I might throw that hummingbird up there. I may not. I think I won't. I don't think that's going to really fit in. Yeah, we're not going to throw the hummingbird in. Anyway, we tried. So for right now, we're going to glue all this in. So let me I like to use a magazine as my gluing surface because when I'm done, I can just flip it over to the next page. Okay, I like to share that so that people can do that. Okay, so I'm going to take some Eileen's Tacky. I find for magazine pages, because a lot of some magazines are really cheap. You can just use your collage glue. But the magazine I'm using is a pretty high quality magazine, so it's real thick. The pages are thick. So if you're working with cardstock or thicker paper, I definitely would use Eileen's Tacky to glue the stuff down, especially if you're using cardstock, if you're gluing down cardstock. It just has that nice sticky surface. Okay, so we're going to glue that down. Okay, let me use my baby wipe here. Okay. And with my baby wipe, just in case I have any glue seepage, I'm just going to go over the ends like that. So it'll help glue everything down, but also any glue seepage. And then I like to take just a dry paper towel and go over the whole thing just to make sure it's really attached well. Okay, and then use my hands. This is to make sure we've got everything attached really well. Okay, then we want to put this right here, okay? Here's another little tip. I like storing my Eileen's Tacky upside down because this glue is so damn thick, which is why it's probably so awesome. Why it glues down anything. Because it's so thick, it's just best, it's ready to go. It's primed. The bottle's primed and ready to go if you just store it upside down. Then you don't have to try to get the glue down to the bottom to be able to glue. You can start gluing right away. Just a little tip. Okay. That's probably for any of your bottles of glue. Just store them upside down so they're primed and ready to go. Okay. All right. Now I'll use my fingers just to make sure this is really attached really well so that we don't have anything coming up on us. Okay, there we go. Now we have our quote. And this quote says, it says favorite quote at the top. I thought how unpleasant it is to be locked out. And I thought how it is worse, perhaps, to be locked in. Isn't that just a wonderful quote? I think it is. Do I want it to go that way? Or do I want it to go like, I think I want it to go like that. Just like that. I want it to go like this. I think just like that. I don't want to I like this lady's outfit. I like this whole, I like her period. I don't know if I don't want to cover her up too much. What is that? Maybe. I like that better. We'll put it up there. But I love that quote. And the quote over here says, this is on this page, it says tip. It says, don't be afraid to express who you are through your physical appearance, clothes, ornaments, colors, and style. Be creative. Use humor and imagination. Accentuate the good and the bad. Feel free to embroider a little red bird on your lapel. Pin a flower in your hair. Reveal something about yourself or create a mystery. But don't be invincible. The world needs your splashes of color, eccentricities. I'm not saying it right, but anyway, you guys know what I'm saying. And whimsy. Isn't that the truth, though? And I know some people, they're not into clothes, they're not into makeup, but you know what? When you wear some pretty rings, like I love my rings. My husband had these rings made for me by this guy who makes Native American jewelry. When you pick just neat things, you're giving a story about yourself. So it's not just about showing off fashion. It's about sharing who you are in the world. And I love how it says right here, the world needs your splashes of color, and it's true. They need your eccentric. They need you to, however you are eccentric, they need that. The world needs your whimsy. They need to know who you are. That adds to the world. And I totally believe in that. So the next time, especially if you're not into fashion or you're not into, makeup or whatever, think about it that way. You're sharing with the world who you are. And sometimes you can't tell everybody who you are, right? But you can express who you are and share who you are with the world by how you dress, jewelry you choose, the clothing that you wear. Does it have to be the highest fashion ever? No, it needs to be whoever you are. So it's just another way of expressing yourself and letting people know who you are. So anyway, just thought I'd share that. Those quotes really stood well with me. I was like, yes, please. And I want to start collecting, did I want it to go like this? I think this. I want to start collecting quotes in a quote book so that I can, I basically want to be able to write them out in calligraphy, and then in my Etsy shop sell a bunch of like sheets of quotes, and of course I'll put, you know, who the quote is by. Like this one is by Virginia Woolf, and this one doesn't say who it's by. It might be by Virginia Woolf too because it was on the same page. But just collecting a bunch of quotes and then have a book of quotes that people can use in their artwork. I already have that in my Etsy shop if you ever want to check that out. I have a bunch of quotes. I have quote pages that you can print out and then cut out. And it's done in real fancy, kind of like calligraphy type of print. So, love that. Okay. So the next thing we want to do, let's see what you guys are seeing. Make sure we're in focus. Make sure the camera's still on. Look how fabulous that's looking. I love it. Okay, next. Let's add some of these, Dollar Tree decals, wall decals. Let me look and see what we have going on. Okay, so these are what I'm looking at using. Okay, for some reason I'm seeing this hat needs to go here. We'll see. Let's try it. It may or may not go there, but this is what I'm envisioning. Yep. I don't know why, but that just came to me. You know, I'd rather it go like this, and then I'll cut some of that off. There we go. So whatever's not fitting here, this will just get cut off. I just kind of put it to the back of that other sheet. Perfect. All right, love that. Also, I am seeing a star. So there's a star right here that I want to put right here. Perfect. Love. And then what else? This is why I love collage. You can just do so much cool stuff.